I've just unlocked every skin in the new How to Train Your Dragon game, so I'm doing a showcase on every single skin in the game, so you know what skins you want to unlock, and if the super rare ones are worth grinding for. So let's get started. Now, firstly, there have been a couple of small updates since my last video that I want to quickly go over, as they are relevant to how you unlock and level up your dragons. Now, firstly, they have added egg incubation. So if you're wanting to unlock some of the rarest skins in the game but haven't been having any luck, then you're going to like this new feature. So, what egg incubation means is it allows you to incubate up to 3 eggs at a time, and the longer you incubate them for, the better chances you'll have of unlocking a rare dragon skin. So for example, let's have a look at the ocean egg. Here, there's only a 0.2% chance of getting the Emberstorm Deadly Nadder, the rarest skin in the game. But if we go ahead and incubate it, it's up to the chance for Emberstorm to 1.3% chance, as well as increasing the chances for other rare skins such as Magmaborn or Ember. And this is just the first incubation, which takes 4 hours. We can up this to the second incubation, which will give us 4 times luck but will take 12 hours to incubate, and we can incubate it one last time for times 8 luck, which will take 1.5 days to incubate, but upping the chance for Emberstorm all the way up to 4.3%. So this is certainly an essential feature if you're wanting to get some of the rarer skins. And along with that, they have also added the ability to re-roll traits. You still get 3 random traits on all of your dragons, but now, if you don't like any of your traits or would like to try to get better ones, you can actually use trait re-rolls to re-roll your traits. Now, while you can't currently purchase trait re-rolls, you can unlock 2 free ones by entering this code here. To do so, go up to the codes icon up here, and here you can enter the code Dragons4L to get 2 trait rerolls, as well as the code ABCDEF to unlock a free incubated rare dragon egg. That is currently the only way to unlock trait rerolls, but the ability to purchase them somehow will undoubtedly be coming in a very near update. And it's looking like there's going to be 2 pretty big updates coming in October, so now's a really exciting time for this game. So now let's get into the dragon skin showcasing. Let's start off with the Monstrous Nightmare. Firstly, let's check out the common solar skin. This one is actually really nice. It has a nice mix of green and yellow all over the body, with some nice red or orange patterns throughout, especially on the snout here. It kind of gives me a sort of watermelon vibe for some reason. Now, like all the Monstrous Nightmares, its flame cloak is always on, but if you use up all the dragon's fire, the flame cloak starts to thin, until eventually it's gone altogether, until you regenerate your dragon's breath and it starts to return. So really, this is quite a nice skin, and so far, the only common skin for the Monstrous Nightmare. Now let's have a look at the rare Auric Blaze skin. This one has a really nice, really menacing, dry desert sort of look to it. It has a white underbelly and some really interesting colours on the wings. They have a sort of shiny iridescence look to them, and it also has these hints of green throughout the body. I think this is another really cool skin for the Monstrous Nightmare. This sort of bone-dry, menacing look. Now to one of my favourite Monstrous Nightmare skins, the rare Ashvine skin. This one has a very nice, sleek black kind of look to it, as well as orange eyes which really nicely complement the black. Interestingly though, this one also seems to have that sort of iridescence colour on the wings. It also does have a lighter shade of grey or maybe a blue on its underbelly. I'm pretty sure you can actually see this Monstrous Nightmare in the background of the movie too. Again, this one is definitely one of my favourite skins for the Monstrous Nightmare, which actually used to be the main one I used until I unlocked the next one on this list, the legendary Magmaborn. This one is also crazily awesome, and definitely the best of the Monstrous Nightmare skins. Now interestingly, this one is pretty clearly based on Hookfang's nemesis from Race to the Edge. Its bone white horns contrast really well with the darker red and black of the body. But as you can see, as is with most of these skins, there's a pretty bad cutoff point from the neck to the body, in which the colours are a lot less saturated, and the textures are nowhere near as refined. So hopefully they can fix that in a later update, because if the entirety of the skin had the quality that the head did, then this would be an absolutely flawless skin. Interestingly, it does have some hints of like a bluey green on the wings, so that's quite interesting, but it does nicely break up the harsher, warm colours of the rest of the body. And because it's a Monstrous Nightmare, it has the best base stats of all the different dragon species, meaning they're even faster than the Night Fury, which is a peculiar decision. But now let's move on to the Hideous Zippleback. Starting off with the Zippleback's only common skin, the Vinefang. Now, especially for a common skin, this one is actually really nice. It of course has this really sick venom green all over the wings. Now, the skin does have one major problem, which again is the disconnect between the necks and the body. And I think this might be the skin that actually gets it the worst out of all of them. But if you can look past that, this is a really solid common skin. It's really cool how the skins in this game are so good that even the common ones look amazing. And now to the rare Toxinlight skin. This one is a very vibrant green, with different shades of green and yellow throughout, as well as hoops of an even lighter sort of lime green along the neck, giving it an almost snake-like look, which also extend all the way down to the tail. And, as a bonus, the cutoff between the neck and the body is nowhere near as bad on this one. And now the final Hideous Zippleback skin, the legendary Ember. This is another really nice one, aside from, yet again, a really bad cutoff point from the neck and the body. That's the biggest downside for the skin, but aside from that, it's really pretty. The colours are gorgeous and vibrant and rich. The general base of dark red with green scattered throughout, along with the really vibrant red at the tips of the wings and the tail, gives it a really nice, almost candy sort of look. The bright red tipping off the ends of the tail looks amazing too. Now, all of the colours look amazing, but again, at the cutoff point from the neck to the body, rather than a very abrupt change in colours, it's a serious downgrade in textures. You can see all of the detail on the scales along the necks, but when you get to the body, all of the textures and colours are sort of just like squished together, like it's a lower quality version. So hopefully they improve all the textures on these dragons before too long. But honestly, I think this one kind of benefits from the smoothed out textures. It really does give quite a nice sort of candy kind of look. Just maybe fix the transition from the neck to the body, and this will be another incredible skin. But as it stands, honestly this one might be one of the top 3 best skins in the game. And is definitely the best skin for the Hideous Zippleback. Next up, we'll be taking a look at all of the skins for the Gronckle, and then after that, finally, the deadly Nadder. Very interesting that on the default skin, it's a lot more green than it is brown or blue, like it was in the movie. And typically the default looks for these dragons are based on their riders' counterparts, like the deadly Nadder is based on Stormfly's colours, the Zippleback on Barf and Belch, so it's interesting how the Gronckle has a completely different coloration from what we see in the movie. Firstly, the common Sandstone Gronckle. This one kind of seems like a more saturated version of the base Gronckle, but with a lot more yellow rather than green, but still with some hints of light green throughout the body, as well as some sort of dark brown on the wings. This one really is quite an interesting hodgepodge of different colours, but the main colours of yellow and I guess like a dark brown does work well for the Sandstone name, and I suppose the green is there to sort of break up the constant dry yellow. So now let's get into the next Gronckle skin, the rare Slime. Now this one is basically the Toxinlight skin from the Hideous Zippleback, but just named Slime and put on the Gronckle. It has the very acidic green all over its body, and even the neon green hoops down the tail like the Zippleback had on its neck, and the head looks like it has the exact same coloration as the base skin. And now onto one of 2 epic skins for the Gronckle, the Mossrock. You know, I actually really like this skin. It has a sort of dark, swampy kind of colour to it. This one is definitely one of my favourite skins for the Gronckle. In fact, my second favourite, only beaten by this next one. The epic Coralmaw. Again, this one is definitely my favourite Gronckle skin. It really lives up to the name Coralmaw, as it has a really cool sort of coral reef colour to it, with some nice pinks, reds and blues mixed in. I do really love the blue on its back and wings. It really helps to give it that sort of underwater coral reef look. As much as I'm not a fan of the live action Gronckle's redesign, it does still have some really nice skins. And now onto the final dragon species that has any skins, the deadly Nadder. So, starting off with one of 2 common skins for the deadly Nadder, the common Vineclaw. I really like this one, to the point where I'm surprised that it's common rather than rare. A really nice green colour once again, and I really like the almost glowing lightning look it has all over its underbelly. Overall, especially for a common skin, I really like this one. And now the deadly Nadder's second common skin, the common Prismtide. This one seems to be following up on the Auric Blaze Monstrous Nightmare skin, with the sort of dry desert colour and the more trippy iridescence kind of wing colour. It does have a really nice sort of dark brown on the head. But with that, let's move on to our next deadly Nadder skin, the rare Lagoonveil. This one is really the Nadder's equivalent to the Gronckle's Mossrock skin. It still has that sort of oily colour to the wings that the previous Nadder had. Pretty much everything I said about the Mossrock applies to this one. I really like it. It has a really nice sort of dark swampy colour scheme to it. But now, the final skin on this list, and currently the only mythic skin in the game, the rarest of them all, the mythic Emberstorm. This one is absolutely one of my top 2 favourite skins in the game, up there with Magmaborn. This skin is so insanely rare that prior to the Incubation update, the highest chance you'd ever have of getting it was a 0.2% chance. Now thankfully it's a bit easier to get now that you can incubate eggs and up the chances for rare dragons. But for a good few weeks, this dragon was the only one I was missing from my collection. It has a really nice burning brown orange colour to it, with a really nice bluey green pattern on the wings. I love the brighter underbelly contrasting well with the darker colours of the whole body, and the tail spines are a bright red, which give them an almost red hot burning ember sort of look to them. Generally a really cool skin all around, and I wish everyone better luck than I had trying to get this thing. And that is, as of right now, every single skin in the Roblox How to Train Your Dragon game, but there will undoubtedly be more skins coming in the very near future.